Hello, 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 everybody. Hi, thank you for stopping by. Hi, Robin. How are you? Thank you for stopping by. Do appreciate it. And thank you to all of you out there in YouTube and Facebook land. I do appreciate you stopping by to join in on the chat. Hopefully, you'll just come on in, put your little 2 cent in there. But if you don't, that's okay. Just continue to watch. It's appreciated regardless. The support is always uh, appreciated. And also, I do want to thank everybody that will be tuning in to the replay. As usual, I know I get a good crowd of people that do watch the replay because you're unable to see it live. That's okay, no big deal. I do appreciate you doing that. So thank you so much. And hopefully tonight we'll have a very interesting topic and a lot of discussion. So stay tuned. We'll see how it goes. Hi, Jenny. Hi, how are you? Thank you for stopping by. As you can see, it is still July and I am still celebrating. Queens are born in July. Hey, that would be me. So I'm still celebrating my birthday until the end of the month. So I have one more live stream. Telling what I'll have on next week. I don't know. But anyway, I just thought I'd just put this little shirt together. Actually, I just grabbed it out my little stash and a little bit too big, but kind of embroider on and say, whatever. There it is. Queens are born in July. Hi Terry, how you doing? Thank you for stopping by. Hi Val, how are you? Thank you for stopping by. I hope you had a wonderful time on your trip, and I'm assuming you're back home. Greetings. I think, where did you go? Bahamas, Florida, somewhere, having fun, whatever. But anyway, thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. And just oh, you went to Florida, okay. As a reminder for both you and Robin, the two of you that are on so far, there will not be a so long meeting tomorrow night. We are doing our 2 week break. So we won't return back for our so long until the 7th of August, and we will be doing the quilt review on the 6th. So it'll be 2 weeks from now. So I will continue to mention that throughout, but I just wanted to remind you of that. So take it easy, rest, enjoy yourself. If you're not done with your quilt, you got a couple of more weeks to do so. I thank goodness. Oh, I'm done. I'm completely done. I'm completely done. I have the binding on. I hand stitched it. I did the whole 9 yards. So I'm done. Well, I haven't put a label. I didn't put a label on. I was debating that, but I think I'm going to go ahead and put a label on. But anyway, I will be making another quilt eventually. Hi Becky, how you doing? Hi Betty, how are you? Thank you for dropping by. I do appreciate it. Um, I was just talking about the so long break that we're having starting. No meeting tomorrow, no meeting next week. And Val, congratulations on your first quilt. Yeah, it is definitely my first full quilt. And it's a 50 and a half by 50 and a half. And I finished it. Believe it or not, that thing, it drove me. It drove me. But I was determined not to quit. I was determined to complete the project. And I did. I learned a lot. Um, I'll talk about it at the reveal, but I'm glad that I was able to stick to it, get it done. Uh, Accomplishment. I can check that off my bucket list. It wasn't on my bucket list in the first place, but I put it on and then I can check it off. Oh, that's kind of how that would go. So anyway, first of many. It's always the first of something. So, hi Christian, how you doing? Thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Uh, and Miss Mac, how are you? 2011 Miss Mac, how are you doing? Thank you for stopping by. Do appreciate it. I was just informing the group of people there will be no reveal tonight. I'm sorry if there was, well, I'm not going to say a misunderstanding because I did say last week we were going to reveal. But because there are a few people that are not done, I'm not one of them. I extended it. It was agreed upon that we would extend it out. So we're actually, those of us that are done, we're taking our 2 week break before we start another project. And then we will be doing the reveal on the 6th of August. So 2 weeks from tonight, we will be doing the reveal. Hey Danielle, how you doing? Thank you for stopping by. Um, I didn't get your reply from the email. I'm assuming you got the email that I sent out. Hopefully you did, but you were already aware of the information that was put in the email. Just let me know um, if you got it, because if you didn't get it, then I'll send it out to you again because I want to make sure that everybody has all of the updated information. So I sent it out last week. No, you didn't check it. Okay, check your email because I sent it out last week, girl. You should have it. Hopefully, it's a group email, so hopefully you got it. So let me know. And Becky, you said you did the edge-to-edge quilting on your 10 needle on your granddaughter's quilt, and you need to put the binding on it, so it worked out great. Okay, great. We're going to talk about that because you did it on your 10 needle. I did it on my 10 needle. I was not happy with my results, but um, anyway, we can talk about, we can compare notes. Let's put it that way. And I'm even going to suggest, if you're available and if you want to, if we can Zoom tomorrow night and talk about it. I don't know. Anybody that wants to Zoom tomorrow night can, but we are on our break. You don't have to. But I would love to talk to you about that edge to edge because I just would like to talk to you about it. um, you were making it harder than it was. Obviously, I was doing the same thing. But I've learned more better. Yes, you got it. And you say you, Danielle, you say you got it and you're always behind on your email. Well, that's okay. As long as you got it, that's all I wanted to know. Make sure that you got it so you can have all of the information and be up to date. And since you were on the so long last week, you know what we discussed. So this was just a follow-up and mostly for those that were not in attendance last week. So what time is it? Okay, it's 8:09. It is time. Let's get started with tonight's subject. I was trying to figure out, okay, what am I going to talk about tonight? So it was suggested that go through some of your old videos and stuff and some of the stuff that you talked about and kind of freshen it up and get some more information out there. So I did. And the one thing that I thought about was something that I know a lot of people say they don't do. And why you don't do it, there's multiple reasons for it, but uh, embroidering on hats or caps seem to always be something that people have issues and concerns with. So I decided to investigate on some of the hooping systems that are out here available for us to use to do um, hooping on caps. Now, I have to be honest, I didn't really dive into what's available for single needle machines because it's limited. And one of the hoops that I looked into is available for single needle machines. So you're not completely left out. It's just that embroidering on caps is not something that people that have single needle machines do a lot of. Not to say that we don't do any on our single needle machines. That's not what I'm saying. But it's not, I don't think, something that we do a lot of simply because of the difficulty of it. So what I did, I not necessarily put together a slide presentation, but I did put together some slides. So I am going to take that down. Wasn't ready for that yet, but I'm going to discuss some of the different hoops. So let's see if we can't get started on that. Okay, there we go. Now is the way I wanted it to be because I wanted to be on here. So the title is Which Machine Embroidery Cap Hooping System is Best for You? And I looked at 4 different systems, and I'm going to go through all 4 of them briefly. Now, I have to admit, I was a little surprised that when I went on the sites or when I went looking for information for these hoops, and I went to the um, sites that sell them, the information was limited. And one of the sites was virtually, it was almost like they were hiding from the CIA, which was a surprise to me. I couldn't understand why it was so difficult to find. But anyway, let me go ahead and go to slide number 2. And the first one that I want to talk about is the one that I currently own, and that is the Brother Flat Brim Cap Hooping System, and it is also called the PRCFF. If you wanted to look for it online or on Brothers or what have you, the PRCFF, and it is the Brother Flat Brim Cap Hooping System. And what you see before you is what I got. And I'm going to go from top left, which when you're looking at it, the left and over, then down to the second row and over. So let me see if I can make sure that the frame is the one that you see. And I don't know if you can see my cursor on here. I hope you can, but I'm not sure if you can. Let me know if you can see my cursor, because that would make it so much easier for me to know that what I'm describing is what you all know that I'm looking at. This is your cap frame that you're connecting your cap to. And uh, it has all the little parts and stuff to make it connected and everything. And the next one over here, to the right of it, the little curved thing that looks like it might be a horseshoe, has the little points on that. And that is uh, the little plastic thing that you put over it to connect it and tighten it down. And that's kind of why they call it a flat brim, because it's a little different than the regular one that we're going to talk about after this one. And then this down at the bottom on the left is your jig. And what that means is you attach it to a table or to your embroidery machine cart. That's where mine is. And that's what you put the frame on in order to put this piece on. And once you get these 2 pieces on your cap sitting on here on your jig, then you put it on the last one that's over here on the right, which is called the driver. The driver hooks directly onto your embroidery machine. You take your arms off. Those of you that have a 10 needle brother or a baby lock 10 needle machine, that's how it works. You take your arms off, you put this on directly, and then these 2 things are connected to it. And that's how you hoop your hat. Now, I know that looks complicated, sounds complicated, but in all honesty, it is not. I used it right out the gate and was very successful with hooping it. So that's one hoop, and it is the Brother Flat Brim Cap hooping system that I recommend. And I'm going to tell you why I recommend it is because um, it's easy. It's easy to do if you have those machines. Now you can do the PR 600 and 1000 system as well as the 6 needle and 10 needle baby lock. So the baby lock and the brother 6 and 10 needles are compatible with this, or this is compatible with those machines. Now, I did do my AI to find out what they had to say about it. And I asked about the Brother Flat Brim Cap Hooping System, the PRCFF. And it says it's a popular choice for many embroidery enthusiasts. And here are the pros, because I asked about the pros and the cons. And the pros are ease of use. The system is easy to assemble and use. It comes with a hooping jig and driver. And so the two bottom ones are the jig and the driver. The two ones at the top are actually the frame, which makes it comes with a jig and a driver, which makes it easy to attach and release. The versatility. This system allows you to embroider more types of hats than before. So you can do the Richardson 112s, you can do the stiff hats, you can do the ones that are soft. You can actually stitch on the back and the side. I've done it. So it is, and I've also, no, I didn't do a bucket hat with this, but you can do um, ball caps. It says it goes close to the brim. You can stitch 35% closer to the brim, approximately 6 to 10 millimeters, depending upon the cap. Now, usually it's about an inch away. So that's about as close as you're going to get to the brim with this. So it doesn't get as close to the brim as your Gen X 2, but it does get closer allegedly than the regular brother hoop, from my understanding. The other pro is durable construction. The frame is made of durable soft plastic. Now, here are the cons. Compatibility. The system is compatible with specific brother machines such as the PR1050, the PR1055X, which is what I have, and 6 needle machines with vertical LCD panels. If you have a different model, this system may not work for you. Now, it also works on the baby lock, but they may have a different number for it. But the baby lock 6 and 10 needle machines also can use this flat brim or a flat brim hooping system. And the other con is it requires additional equipment. Now, the flat brim cap frame can only be used with the hooping jig and driver, which is true. You have to have the jig and the driver. If you don't already have these, you'll have to purchase them separately. Now, they normally will come together, and I have the approximate um, cost based upon what I saw online. And as you can see, the approximate cost for the set, and that will be all four pieces, is around $12.50. Standard retail is $16.50. Now, I got it with my machine, so I didn't have to bear that brunt, thank goodness. But hooping systems are not cheap. So just wanted to let you know about that. And I do like that cap system quite a bit. There are several resource video tutorials out there, and I have to tell you, it was kind of funny. I'm going to tell you what the resources are when I ask my AI or Copilot. And it says, here are some of the videos that can help you with the Brother Flat Brim cap. And number one, how to use the Brother PRCF 5 flat brim cap system for commercial embroidery machines by Ken Sewing Center. The other one is number two is using the Brother PRC FH5 flat brim cap frame by Continental Sewing Center. And number three is Brothers Flat Brim Cap Hooping System Demo by Shirley's Threadwork. I came up in the Google search. I was surprised when I pulled it up and my face popped up doing my demo. I was like, okay, I'm in the search engine, y'all. That was kind of fun just to see me pop up like that when I did the AI search on resources and videos. And it says this video gives an overview of the three parts of the hooping system, how to assemble and hoop the cap, and demonstrate the ease of usage with a completed project. That's what my video does. So you guys check it out, check it out, check it out if you're interested in that hooping system. So the next hooping system is the regular Brother Cap hooping system, and they call it the large, or PFRCF 3. Now, you may notice that it is a little less expensive than the flat brim. The flat brim was $1,300, roughly $1,250. This one is right at $1,000, and it has three parts. You have the top is your jig that you have to use to hook it up with. The one that's over on the right is the driver, and the one that's on the bottom is the frame itself. And that's what you need if you use the larger one. And most people have this one if they've had their machine for a while, because the flat brim has only been out maybe four plus years, I would say, because when I got it, it was pretty new. So that is what normally comes with the hooping system for that for the PRCF3 or your regular brother. And so I asked about the pros and cons of that as well. And let me see. The AI said the pros is general embroidery area. The advanced cap frame set gives you a generous area for cap embroidery. The cap frame embroidery area is 130 millimeters by 60 millimeters, which is approximately 5 inches wide by 2.4 inches tall. The versatility is easy to add logos or your favorite phrase to a wide array of caps. And then number three, convenient snap-on hoop. The system features a convenient snap-on hoop. Now, I didn't mention it because it wasn't on the AI, but the flat brim hoop has the same size, 5 inches wide, and I think you can go a little taller than 2.4. I'm almost certain. I want to say 4 inches, but I might be lying on that one. But it goes up pretty tall. So nothing that I read gave me that information. But me using it personally, I know you can get some pretty tall lettering on there. Now, the cons are the compatibility. The system is compatible with specific brother machines, and it lists the 100s, the 620, 650, 655, 670, and then the 1000 series, uh, which would be the 1050 and the 1055X, and that's it. And the compatibility, the system has to be a 2.10 version only, which means all of those ones that I mentioned had to have the vertical screen, could not have the horizontal screen. So if you have an older 6 needle or an older 10 needle and it is vertical, then you cannot use this cap system, nor can you use the flat brim cap system. So I don't know how far back that goes. But I'm going to tell you the importance of this system as we go. Now, the third one that I looked up is the one that people talk about the most when they're doing uh, hooping for caps and they don't necessarily have a brother machine. And I'm trying to get to my pros and cons. I'm pretty sure I did one. Let me see. Anyway, I don't see pros and cons. But the next one that I want to talk about is the Hoop Tech Gen X2 cap cylinder frame and the T-bar frame set. Now, what you're looking at is the set. Now, I don't know if anybody has seen this before or own one, but this is the hooping system that I personally wish I had. It is two parts. This part down here that goes long with the long thin handle, that is your T-bar frame. And the part at the top is the actual hooping frame, cap frame. You need the cap frame and the T-bar in order to use it. And it runs approximately $824.98 for the two. Racoma is currently selling theirs for $749.90. Same one, but if you buy it from Racoma, I don't know if there's any other reasons or any other things that you have to do, but that's what they're selling it for. Now, the Hoop Tech, which is interesting, lots of people have it. Lots of people use the Gen X too. I don't know if any of you all have one. If you do, can you let me know if you have one? And if you do have one, how do you like it? Because I have been told that it is the best thing to use if you do caps pretty much for a living. If you do it every day, all day long, and it is a lucrative um, project to sell caps because people buy caps like crazy. And if you have a good hooping system, you can really branch out there and make a lot of money because this particular system, the Gen X2 capping system, makes it virtually um, seamless. Now, I was out and about on my birthday, and I stopped in the store called Lids, Lidz, and they sell caps, and you can get them personalized. And I talked to the gentleman that was standing up at the register, or the area where they did the embroidery. And I asked him two questions. I asked him, one, what was the embroidery machine that he was using, which I pretty much knew what it was. And he answered it, and I was correct. It was a Tajima, which is pretty standard for commercial um, usage. So he was using the Tajima, and he was using the Gen X capping system, and that's what he was using. And he was popping out those caps like nobody's business, in and out, in and out, in and out, and doing beautiful work, absolutely beautiful work. So that is your commercial workhorse. It works really, really well. And I have heard that it's difficult to use, but I've seen the video, and I don't think it is. I really well, practice makes perfect, and you have to practice with any and all of them. None of them can you do without some practice to make sure you get it right. But it does have the capability of putting you in a position of making a lot of money if you have it and you want to do this all the time. Now, on the flip side of that coin, I don't know if it would be now. It is compatible with the Brother 10 needle machine and the baby lock 10 needle machine, and I think it's compatible with the 6 needle machines as well. However, because they are considered home based slash commercial machines, I don't know how much of a workhorse they would be if you decided to do caps as your main item for sale. But I just wanted to put that out there that you could make a lot of money in using this capping system. So let me tell you what I have found out about that. The Gen X2 capping system has several notable attributes. One is maximize sewing feel. It is specially designed to maximize the sewing feel on the front two panels of a finished cap while still remaining maintaining the registration. It has a spring steel bill retainer, and this feature sets and holds the bill angle. It has backing clips, and the clips hold your stabilizer in place during the framing. It has an internal retaining finger. These ensure proper bill alignment. It is a lighter designed frame. It's 20% lighter than the original, and it is redesigned to allow you to get closer access to the bill. And that's the one thing that people love about this particular hoop is that it gets so close to the bill, it basically will stitch right on top of it. Um, Open design, top clamp, the features included in the Gen 2 design, and it has a large embroidery feel, and it is compatible where you can embroider on structured, unstructured, low profile, full crown, strap back, flex fit, fitted, flat bib, pre-curved, new era, Pacific, nylon, military style, visors, bucket hats, and Richardson 112. So you can stitch on and visors. I don't know if I mentioned visors. So you can stitch on practically anything that goes on your head with with this um, with this hooping system. Um, I did ask to compare it to what you can do with the Brother. Now, the Hoop Tech Gen 2 frame is designed to work with several brands of commercial embroidery machines, including Brother. However, it is important to note that the Gen X2 will not work with the Brother flat brim driver. Now, I wanted to bring that out because I had heard that before. And if you are like me and you only have the flat brim driver set or hooping system and you want to convert over to the hoop tech or you want to add it or whatever, unfortunately, you will have to buy the regular driver, the regular Brother driver. So they don't sell the driver individually. So you would have to buy the set. Now, I was doing my research and I was able to find on eBay where you can get the Gen X2 cap and the T-bar, what we're looking at, plus the Brother driver for $1199.99. So basically $1,200, which is a considerable savings because if you bought the $1,000 set, Brother set, and then the $850 Hoop Tech set, you're looking at 18 close to $1,900 versus 12. So you're saving right around $700 if you get this off of eBay. Now, how long that's going to be like that, I don't know. But I was very much encouraged by seeing that because, like I said, that's something that I want. And good to know that somebody is selling the driver and you don't have to buy the whole set. So I just wanted to put that out there. And I'm going to go to the next one and then I have more information about all of them. So the last one that I am going to talk about is this one. And I don't know how many of you have seen it, but this is your Durkee cap frame or your SACFPRMN. And it's interesting because I did not know this Durkee was affiliated with Brother with this frame. Because if you go on Brother USA, they have this frame. And that SACFPRMN is their code for this frame. But it is a Durkee frame. And this is just like any other Durkee frame. They have a video telling you how to set it up, but it uses adhesive just like any other Durkee frame. That open area that you see is where you put your sticky stabilizer, and that's where, and this metal part that's in the front, you slide your bib up in there and screw it down. Then you take the crown of the cap, all of the area that you want to embroider on, and you just take it, line it up in the middle. Make sure you get your seams lined up with these middle places and flatten it down and stitch on it just like we did years ago when we only had flat beds, and some of us even have some of those hoops from in the past, blast in the past, where you can use to hoop hats. Now you pretty much have to hoop and stitch on unstructured hats. It would be quite difficult to do a Richardson 112 or anything that is structured. Not to say you can't do it, but it certainly would be a chore. And so this particular frame is approximately $195. So, of course, it is the least expensive of all of the frames that are out there and available to do any type of stitching on hats or what have you. But there is an option for all of us that want to do hats and want a frame and don't want to pay through the nose. Because as you know, every one of the frames that I talked about prior to this one is pretty expensive. It's not cheap. And I just wanted to give you all of the information that is available. And I think this stitches five inches to 5 inches wide, 4 inches tall. I think that's what it is. And then they do have a bigger frame, which will do 5 by 7, and that costs $230. So those are the things that are available to you. Now I want to go back to the Gen X2 frame for a minute. I didn't get all the pictures and stuff, but I just want to let you know what's entailed with them. If you just get the frame and not the T-bar, which pretty much you can't use the frame without the T-bar, but the frame alone is $439.99. Add the, I'm sorry, $384.99. Add the T-bar, which costs $439.99. Then that's where they get the $824.98 price. They do have a laser alignment light that hooks up to your T-bar to help you do the laser. And if you do that, that costs $219.99. They also have the framing station, which is a metal cart-like thing that you hook your T-frame up on. And that is a permanent fixture in your studio somewhere. It looks like it's on wheels where you can roll it around. They sell that framing station for $439.99. Now, all of this is coming from Hoop Tech. So, Hoop Tech is not cheap. Trust and believe. They have the tabletop framing station, which is $299.99. Now, if for some reason I was blessed and able to get the Gen X2 hooping system, I would be getting the tabletop framing station and not the cart. And I was glad to find out that they had one, um, because that's cheaper and it doesn't take up all that room. Now, they also sell a part that goes with the framing, the hoop for the bucket hat. And I told you can do bucket hats, but they want you to buy this to do the bucket hat. And that's $296.99. They also have another framing part for you to do the back, and that's $319 or up to $340.99. And then they also have a side clamp, which is $428.99 up to $458.97. I guess depending upon size or machine or what have you. So all of those things are prices that came off of Hoop Tech. Now, what I do know about Hoop Tech, because I have bought some Hoop Tech clamps, I was lucky enough to get them during a sales event that they had when I was in Florida. And I think it was 20% off. I don't remember, but it was a nice percentage off if you purchased your item, whatever it was, during this 2 day sales event that they had. And they had a code and all of that. And you called in, placed your order, and you got the discount and you saved quite a bit of money. And I did buy some clamps from them. And I have used them to do boots with and shoes and various items. So I was quite pleased with my purchase. But again, like I said, they're not cheap. Hoop Tech is not an inexpensive venture. Their product is good, but they're not cheap at all. So I wanted to express that and also to clarify because like I said, I had heard if you had the flat brim system, you had to buy the regular brother system, and that unfortunately is true because you need that driver. The Gen X is not compatible with the flat brim driver. So that part is true. Let me see what else did I find out. I found out a lot about the Gen X, not a lot about the other frames. The Durkee frame, as I was saying, you can stitch approximately 5 inches wide and 4.5 inches tall with the Durkee frame. But again, keep in mind you have to use sticky stabilizer and hope that it stays stuck down and or you can pin it and do all those kinds of things that we've done before with other things in order to make sure that it works. And I asked about, the attributes of or the limitations for the Durkee frame, and it says that I gave you the size. I told you about the stabilizer, and it is compatible with the 6 and 10 needle machines. But the hooping consistency is a problem or a concern. Uh, they do have alignment guides and vertical slots in the front and the back of the frame to help achieve consistent hooping results. Hooping the cap and still, but hooping the cap can still be challenging and may require some practice, because if you don't get it down correctly, and like I said, you may have to pin it or what have you to and smooth it out and all of those kinds of things to get it done. And you pretty much have to do it on unstructured hats, but it is doable. So, does anybody have any questions about any of the hoops? Have anybody used any of these different hoops? Is anybody interested in using any of these hoops? Because I have found that, like I mentioned when I first started, caps seem, or hooping caps, or embroidering on caps, and all of those things seem to scare people, and they don't want to do it. Okay, Becky, you said that you have, let me see, can I get you? You said you have the, there you go, the PRPCF1 wide frame, 14 inches across and 2.38 inches, and you can sew on the sides of the cap. Okay, I'm not familiar with that one. Okay. And so you can use it to sew on the sides of the cap. Now, is this, okay, you say it's wide, so it's 14 inches across. I would like to see that one. I would like to see that one because I'm not familiar with that frame. And Val, you say you have used the Racoma. Now, what one are you using with the Racoma? And since you mentioned Racoma, I know you don't have it, but um, the Gen X2 is not compatible with the Racoma EM1010. So if anybody has the EM1010, they cannot use the Gen X 2 with that particular machine. However, the big machine like what you have, Val, you can. So which cap system do you have? And as you guys can see, I have my wine finally. Let me tell you, I went out today to get some things and was getting ready to head home. Totally forgot about getting the wine as usual. And I saw the store, wine store, and I had to do a U-turn, turn around. I said, I'm not forgetting my wine today. I'm getting and this is my blueberry Stella Rosa. So I am enjoying my wine tonight. Please join me. Because this is Shirley's Wine Down Tuesday. And she's got her wine. She's got her wine, y'all. Okay, you use the hoop that came with your machine. That's what I was asking. Do you know which one it is? It looks similar to the brothers. Okay. And you have a Racoma has their own. The one that they have, if I'm not mistaken, looks like the regular brother hooping system. I don't have nothing else to say about that. Have you've used it, so you've actually stitched out a cap with that, and did you like it? Did it work well? Was it easy? All of that kind of stuff. Did you find it to be complicated? Is something you're going to use again? All of that kind of stuff. So um, I'm just curious because, again, like I said, many people say they don't like cap hooping or doing embroidering on caps and stuff because they feel like the system itself is too complicated. And they see all of these pieces and stuff and can't figure out how to make it all come together and how to actually make it work. And in all honesty, It's not as complicated as it looks. And um, the one thing that I do know, which is good, there's quite a few tutorials out there. Quite a few tutorials on all four of these different hooping systems. All four hooping systems, I was able to find tutorials online that tells you about all how to do all of them. So whichever one you may have, you can find a tutorial on it. Hi, Ann. How are you? And hi, Joyce. How are you? Thank you for stopping by. And you say you have the brother system and you have never used it. Do you know which one you have, Joyce? Do you have the flat brim or do you have the regular one that came with, I don't know if it came with your machine or you purchased it or whatever. Oftentimes, your people have been lucky enough to get um, the hoop thrown in. And Val, you said they did a step by step with you. Well, that's great then. So I would venture to say, based upon what you're telling me, is that you've done a hat when you were doing your training for your machine, but you haven't really tried to do it on your own since then to see how it works, or if you're comfortable with doing it. Is that safe for me to say that? Um, And if so, I'm pretty sure you are aware that Racoma does have some tutorials as well on using their hooping system, which again, like you say, is very much like the regular um, brother hooping system, not the flat brim, but the regular one. And the other good news, if somewhere down the line you did a few of your own, well, that's great. So then that's, girl, please, you're doing a do then. If you've actually done some on your own, that's really good because that's the only way you're going to learn how to use it is to get up there and try it and do it. And what I was about to say, as far as the Racoma system, there the driver that you have is compatible with the Gen X 2 if for some reason you ever decided to switch over or whatever and try a different system. It would be great if there was some way where people were able to actually try out some of these systems and stuff before, try before you buy type situation because they're so expensive and you don't want to spend all that kind of money and then you get it and you don't like it or you're uncomfortable with it or you can't figure it out or whatever, because I know a friend of mine has the Gen X2 and she's never used it because she said she can't figure it out. And that's unfortunate because I don't live close enough to her to go and help her figure it out because I've seen the video several times and I feel quite comfortable that I can do it because it doesn't look that complicated. It doesn't look like that. It's that actually, to be honest about it, it looks like it would be easier to do than any of the other ones because I really appreciate that T frame because what the T frame does, it grabs the cap and stretches it down where you're definitely going to get a flat, straight, no puckering cap that you can stitch on, and it pulls it down and holds it. And that part is like, wow, that's pretty cool because you don't have to worry about it bunching up and stuff. Because I know with the flat brim, there are occasions where I have to struggle with it to make sure that it does stay flat. Because sometimes when I put that frame over it and it catches it, and I look at it and I see where it may have caught it and it looks like a little pucker, then I got to pull that out and do it again and so forth and so on, which with the T frame with the Gen X2, that doesn't look like that would ever be an issue. And the other thing that is really good about it that I know the guys like, it gets close to the frame. It gets close, I mean, to the bib. It gets very close to the bib, and that seems to be something that men definitely want with their caps. Now, the other thing that I found out, and I knew they had it, but I didn't realize it was specific for brothers. The They have that little apparatus that you attach to your machine that tricks your machine and allows you to get closer to the brim. And you screw it on. And I saw the video and it shows you how to do it and everything. And you can get closer to the brim when you're using that Gen X. And it seems like it's specific for the brothers and the baby lock, which I did not realize that. I just thought that that was um, general for every machine. But the way I understood the video, it was specific for brothers and baby lock. So that's interesting to know that that little metal apparatus that they have that you put on your machine, and I've seen talked about it, heard about it, and all of that. That actually tricks the machine because the machine has a little point, and I'm talking about the brother machine that I have behind me. It has a little rod that you can press that is the regulator, and the machine sees it and it keeps it from getting too close. And when you disengage it, then you can get as close as you want to, but you have to be very careful. You have to make sure you do your tracing, and you have to manually flip it because you're not using a brother frame. But other than that, um, it seems like it's a piece of cake using it. So maybe one day, I don't know. It's so many stuff out there I want. It's so many different things out there I want to use and try. It would be so nice if there would, like I said, if there was some kind of way that you could do a try before you buy type situation, so you can see how all these things work. Hi, Margot. How you doing? Hi, girl. I haven't seen you on here in a minute. I hope all is well. Thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. And I think I did speak to Ann and Joyce. Yes. So glad you guys could stop by and join into the conversation. We are talking about hoops and the different hooping systems. Now, I had heard about the Durkee hat hoop a while back, and I have to tell you that well, the one good thing about it, you can buy one that you can use on your flatbed machine. That's a good thing because now you can use a Durkee frame on your flatbed. And I think not only that, Durkee also has some uh, magnetic frames that you can use on your flatbed. So that's a good thing. Check Durkee out. Look at what they have out there available for all of those or all of us that have flatbed single needle machines that we might have been missing out on doing some things that people with multi-needle machines have been able to do, and we have pretty much not been able to do specifically with magnetic hoops. Now I know Dime has magnetic hoops, and there's pros and cons. Some people like them, some people don't. It just depends. That's going to always be the case. My understanding is the magnetic tightness is not as tight as Mighty Hoop. Don't know, don't have it, so I can't compare. My SC 1900 cannot use one. They don't have a dime one that I'm aware of that I can get for my machine. even to test out. And my sewing field is only 5 by 7, so it is what it is. I do have magnetic hoops for my machine for 4 by 4 and 5 by 7, but they use little magnet um, round magnets that you sit on top of. You're pretty much floating and you're using the magnets to sit on top to hold your stuff together. So I can do a lot with it. And I did prior to getting my 10 needle machine. That was my go-to. I did all of my stitching. Once I discovered that, it was on like popcorn, honey, because I don't like to hoop with those plastic frames that come with your machines. So when I was able to get those, and I got them off of Amazon, they still sell them on Amazon. I think the 5 by 7 is like $79, and the 4 by 4 is like 49, something like that. And I think that's a lot of money for what it is, but it is what it is. But anyway, they are there, they are available. And for those that don't have big, fancy, expensive machines, and you want something for your 4 by 4, your 5 by 7, they do have the magnetic hoops out there that you can use. So don't feel left out because they're there. They're practical. I use them. They work. And, you know, it's a good thing to know that. And now they're also coming out where Brother has some magnetic hoops that they have for like their bigger, higher end machines, like the Stellaire, Luminaire, Baby Lock, what have you, which is very similar to the Brother Magnetic Sash frame, which I have to tell you, I used it for my quilting project and I was not happy. And I'm not going to spoil anything and go into it tonight because I want to save all of that for my reveal and everything, what I did and all of that kind of stuff. But I wish, I was so wishing, I didn't think about it. I really didn't think about it till after the fact, but I wish I had used my mighty hoop. I truly wish I had used my mighty hoop, but I didn't think about it. I did not think about it, and that I regret. But I do know that if you want, at least I feel, and that's why I want to talk to you, Becky, to see what you did, because I feel if you're going to do edge to edge or any kind of quilting type project on a 10 needle machine, you do need a magnetic hoop, and which one you use uh, is up to you. But I do think that you need a magnetic hoop in order to be successful with it. That's just my personal opinion based upon my experience. Um, so I kind of got off of caps a little bit there, which is fine. We can talk about any and everything, whichever way you want to go, because I've shown you what I wanted to show you and talk to you about what I wanted to talk to you about. Excuse me, about the cap hoops, because I just felt like listening to, when I say listening, I mean read. When I go online and I look at Facebook and I go into these different Facebook groups and what have you and stuff, and I see a lot of people talk about their issues with caps and hooping, and they don't want to hoop, and they're afraid to hoop, and I hate to hoop, and all of that kind of stuff, and I don't do caps and all of that. And I know talking to you guys off and on for a while, that seemed to be a big sentiment here, that a lot of you don't do caps because you don't like to hoop it. You're afraid of the hooping system. You're uncomfortable with it. You haven't tried it. And, you're pretty much intimidated by it. And I really want us all not to be intimidated by anything that has to do with what we have decided to do as crafters. Um, like I felt intimidated by quilting. I had said over and over and over and over and over again, I didn't want to quilt. I didn't know how to quilt. I wasn't going to quilt. And then I was put up to the challenge where I had to quilt. And it was definitely a challenge. I'm not going to lie about it. It was definitely a challenge, but I was determined to stick to it, and I did. And yes, I am done with my quilt. And yes, we will be doing a reveal. And I have to apologize to those of you that may have come in later on because I know I mentioned last week we were going to do the reveal this week for the quilting sew along, the sew along, and our project was quilting. But since there were a few of us that weren't completely done, and I wanted to make sure that everybody had an opportunity to present their project because we all have worked really, really hard on it. And I just wanted to make sure everybody was able to show what they did. And so instead of going forward with just a few of us being done, it was agreed upon, we talked about it, and it was agreed upon that we would just give it a few more weeks and then do the reveal. So the reveal won't be postponed anymore. The reveal will be August the 6th. So we're taking a 2 week hiatus. For those of us that are done, we're taking our 2 week break, summer break, and we will be coming back on the 6th of August for the reveal. And then we will be starting our new project on the 7th of August, which we have decided, even though we know it's not going to be a long project, but we're going to be doing the rope bowl. We've talked about the rope bowl for a while, and it's kind of funny that I think every one of us have bought rope and have had rope for a minute, and none of us have done the rope bowl at all. We bought the rope. We probably have looked at videos on how to do the rope bowl, but we've not done it. So we have agreed as a group to do a rope bowl. Don't say it got to be big, but it will be a bowl, or it may be a trivet or a coaster. Who knows? Depends upon how we do and how we feel. But we will be putting that project on, and don't expect for it to be a long project, a couple of weeks, three at the max, probably, to get done. And when I say a couple of weeks, it's a couple of visits because we know it's not going to take a couple of weeks to do it. But we'll visit a couple of times, 3 times maybe, do the presentation on that, and then move on to whatever we decide to do next. And we don't know what that's going to be. So, with that being said, that means that starting August the 7th, we can get new people that want to try it with us, that want to become part of the Sew Along group. And as I've mentioned several times before, it is a place of camaraderie where we talk and share and learn and all of those kinds of things. Uh, Almost every night that we meet, we learn something. Somebody learns something from somebody. I have to just be honest about it. Somebody learns something from somebody almost every night that we meet. There's something that I didn't know how to do, they didn't know how to do, she didn't know how to do, what have you. And they figured it out, or somebody told them how to do it, or I've done it, and that kind of stuff. So that's what makes it fun. And that's what makes it relevant to all of us. And I think we have really um, jailed pretty good. And Robin says true because Robin and Becky and Val and who else is on here? That's part of it. I think that's Danielle. Yeah, and we and several more that are just not on yet, or Like they may not come. I don't know. Leslie and Taisha have other things that they do, and they usually come on late. Marina is got other things going on. Jackie has some other things going on, but we're all still part of the group, and and um, and we keep up with each other, so we know what's going on in each other's lives and stuff, and the reason why one may or may not be there or what have you, which also makes it something that we do enjoy because we look out and look after each other as well, and so I think we have really developed a really good friendship. So, like I said, uh, as they say about the doors of church is open, the doors of the soul alone is open. And if you're interested, come on by. And George, you said you would like to join for that project. You have some files for the rope coast. Okay, that's good. Come on, girl. And if it's available, I mean, if you have the time, because we do meet 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Wednesday night. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Wednesday night. And I'm going to put my email in here. And if you are interested in it, uh, and you want to participate, then email me so I can give you the passcode to sign in. Okay. Talking and trying to type at the same time is not always good because I make sure I don't leave anything out. Okay, I just put my email up there. So if anybody's interested in it, just email me. Let me know that you want to. I will get you the passcode so you can so you can chime into the Zoom. The next Zoom will be on August the 7th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And like I said, we will be doing the rope um, bowl. Again, rope bowl, rope coaster, rope trivet, rope placemat. People are doing all kinds of rope project, rope with the fabric on it, embroidery, the bottom, all of that kind of stuff. Whatever it is that you're comfortable with, whatever it is that you're interested in doing. I know me, I always want to go out there and do the most. So I'm going to try to do a bowl, and I'm going to try to do the embroidery at the bottom. I'm not going to try to do the cloth this time because I need to concentrate on getting that bowl done. I don't need to be distracted trying to figure out how to do the cloth as well. Although I have seen videos on how it's done, so I have an idea. And if I'm successful doing the bowl, then who knows, at some point I might decide to do one where you put the cloth on there and it looks so pretty. But for now, I'm just planning on doing a bowl and with the embroidery down at the bottom. That's what I want to do. So that's going to be my goal, and hopefully, um, I'll do well with it. I'm going to keep trying. I have rope. I bought rope last year, so I'm thinking I got plenty of rope to do a decent sized bow. Hi, Bess Uni, how you doing? Thank you for stopping by. I hadn't seen you in a minute either. It's been a while, so I'm glad that you were able to stop in. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it, as usual. I don't know if you've been listening or you just popped in, or just two things I want to say, because I know some of you may have dropped in to get the reveal for the quilts. We're not doing that. Some of us weren't done, so we decided to back it up. So we're going to definitely do it on the 6th of August. That way we give everybody enough time to get done and be able to present. Some of us will be presenting live. Some of us will not. I already know that. But either way it goes, hopefully everybody will get a chance to show their quilting project. Not everybody did a quilt per se, but everybody did a quilting project. I am done with my quilt. Yay! Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, And I was also saying that we will be starting our new Sew Along project on the 7th. We do it on a Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are always open for anybody who wants to start. New people come in and join us. If you like, you know, hanging out with us, then hang out with us. You can always stop in and see. And I did put my email address in the thread. So if anybody's interested, just email me and I will give you the sign in information for the Zoom for the 7th of August, 7 p.m., 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, our reveal will be on the 6th of the day before, that Tuesday, on the 6th. That's when we will get a chance to look at all of the quilts and stuff. Well, thank you so much, the best uni. I do appreciate. I got my hair colored and cut. Got me some new glasses here, and as usual, the queens are born in July, honey. So I'm celebrating my birthday all month. My birthday was on the 11th. So that's been 2 weeks ago, but that's okay. I'm still celebrating. I'll be celebrating until the end of the month because I got the whole month to celebrate. So, with that being said, that's why I'm wearing my little Queens Born in July shirt. Um, oh, yours was Sunday. Okay, all righty then. There's a lot of people born in July. Um, Jeanette from Baroque Sewing and Craft had her birthday, and gosh, I know it's somebody else that had a birthday. I'm forgetting. Deborah had a birthday. Um, Somebody else had a birthday not too long ago. It's several people that in this community has had a birthday this month. So July is a birthday month. Hey, 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 hey. We all hanging out being Cancers and Leos here. Matter of fact, today is my youngest son, Next to You LLC, that comes on here every once in a while. Today is his birthday. Today is his birthday. So my baby boy with his AARP card birthday is today. So, happy birthday to my son. Happy birthday to my son. And Becky, you said your wedding anniversary. Okay, all righty then. Today is your wedding anniversary or this month? And then tell him happy birthday. I will definitely tell him happy birthday. Yes, I will. And happy anniversary, Becky. Yes. Yes. There's many things to celebrate. Always. We're always having something to celebrate. So, okay, so your anniversary was the day after my birthday. I knew something was special. I think I mentioned the last time I had the procedure done right after the 4th of July, actually on the 5th of July. And when I was in the operating room, the the anesthesiologist, my doctor, and me, we all had birthdays. One was on the 9th, one was on the 10th, and one was on the 11th. I thought that was so cool. What a coincidence. Who would have thought? That was cool. Tell me about it. That was cool. And then turn around, Becky, your anniversary was on the 12th. So that is something. The July is a special month. That's all I can say. July is a special month. So there's a lot of celebrating and all of that stuff. Maybe next year for July, we should all get together and do something. And Becky, you say your son's birthday is on the 31st. Okay. Okay then. Well, you got a son's birthday on the 31st. My son's birthday is on the 23rd. So all of that. And which made me think about when I said next year. Uh, we briefly talked about it last week at the sew along, but what is the original sewing and quilting expo is coming up again this September, and they have been emailing out information about it. I don't know who all are planning on going. I went last year. I'm thinking about going this year. I haven't made a definitive decision yet, but I'm seriously thinking about it. Uh, if enough of you guys are going, I probably will go because I'm hoping we can do a repeat of what we did last year, where we got a chance to meet and greet, and we actually went out to dinner one night while we were there. Hooked up with Jeanette from Baroka Sewing and Craft, and it was a good table full of us. I don't know how many it was of us. Anybody remember? Because I know it was Val and Danielle and Taisha and Leslie and did I say Deborah, Jeanette, my daughter, Val's daughter, and I think a couple of more people. So it was a good turnout, I thought. And I would love for us to do that again. Matter of fact, I would love for more people to come, if at all possible. Um, I think we had our dinner that Friday. I think it was the Friday, which would be my preference again, just before the end of everything. That way, hopefully, more people can come even if they're not planning on doing a whole lot for the expo itself. Because I know I went, what did I do? Thursday, Friday, and left on Saturday. I might do just Friday and Saturday. Okay, so Danielle, you say you're going back this year. I think Leslie mentioned she was going this year as well. So I haven't had a chance to talk to Jeanette about it. So I don't know what she's thinking because she's busy, busy, busy now when her since her everything switched around. Um, so Val, you say you have to check to see if that's the weekend of the Pennsylvania Quilt Show. Okay, check and see. Yeah, because I know you and your daughter came. That was fun. And this was when I got a chance to meet you guys for the first time. So we've been hanging out ever since. So I would love to meet some more people, anybody that's close around and all that kind of stuff that can just kind of hang out and we go. It's in Fredericksburg, Virginia. And I'm in Maryland, so I do have to travel as well, not that far, but it is a drive, a little drive. And, I'd have to drive and stay over and all that kind of stuff. So, little change. And I was looking at the classes and all that kind of stuff. I'm kind of disappointed. Kind of disappointed. I don't know why they do that. They always have classes that you're interested in, but they're all the same day and the same time. So it's not like you can take two or three classes because everything that you're interested in is pretty much on the same day at the same time. So it's kind of like pick one. I know last year Jeanette was she joined early, and she took three or four classes, I believe, which was pretty cool. I've been looking, and again, like I said, everything that I saw so far that I'm interested in doing, they're conflicts. So if I do one, it will be probably one because again, and I don't think I based upon what I saw last year, I don't think it's a good idea to do Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I think a Friday, Saturday is plenty. I think from what I gathered and saw last year. And that's probably what I would do. So, most likely driving in Thursday. So, I have all day Friday. And I don't even know, I might even stay over Saturday and leave out on Sunday. So, I'll have most of Saturday because I think Saturday is their close up day. And that's when, if they're going to have any good sales and stuff, from what I've been told, is usually going to be on the last day. And I didn't get a chance to check that out because we left on Saturday early. So I didn't get a chance to really do any shopping at all on that Saturday. And I kind of regretted that because there were some things I wanted to do and get and didn't get a chance to do that. So I'm going to play it a different way this time. That's my thought process on that. But what I am thinking and hoping, if we can get a group together to go for a group dinner like we did last year, that would be that Friday evening, and hopefully we'll have enough people there to have a nice time and a nice dinner and a nice meet and greet, and hopefully, like I said, get some new people, meet some new people that might be able to come. Don't know who that may be, but I wanted to put that out there now. And Danielle, I know you said you sent the link to Val. Um, Next week, I will try to put that information up where people that are interested in, if you're not on their mailing list, put the information up where you can get in touch with them, find out what's going on and all of that kind of stuff, and see if you're interested in going, seeing if there's any classes you want to take, all of that kind of stuff. And I don't even know if I looked at the vendors this time. I looked at the classes, but I didn't necessarily look at the vendors yet. So I've been busy. I've been busy getting done with my quilt and then getting back into my Etsy stuff because I wanted to finish, well, not finished because it's going to be a always going thing, but I wanted to get more things done to put on my Etsy shop. So I went straight into the embroidery mode. The same, as soon as I got done with that quilt, I hopped back into my studio and got back into the grind. So tomorrow I will be taking photos because I got a lot of stuff already stitched out. So I'll be taking photos so I can get them uploaded to my Etsy shop. And then I got to go in there, and this is boring, but I got to go in there and do some SEO stuff, which I'm just learning how to do. But you got to do all that kind of stuff to get your stuff pushed out. So hopefully you can start getting more sales. You know, I got some sales, but I ain't got enough. So need more and more sales. So you gotta do the work. You gotta do the work. So that's what I've been doing. And the other thing is I'm trying to get a collaboration meeting presentation for you guys with some different creators, content creators, where we can, share what, find out what they do, what their sites are about, and so forth and so on. It's just, a collaboration because this is, you know, we help each other. And I did hear from All Things Shun. And so she had agreed when she was on here that she would be interested in doing. So I heard back from her. So we're going to move forward with coming up with a time and date and topic and all that kind of stuff in the near future. Don't know exactly when that's going to happen yet, But when we get everything finalized and stuff, I'll announce it, and I'm pretty sure she'll announce it on hers. And um, I'm hoping to get uh, at least another person. A couple of more would be great, but at least another person to collaborate and just have a nice night of conversation, meet and greet, and just like the tag your it video that I put out. I don't know if anybody saw it yet, but get to know your creators. So that's pretty much what it is. Get to know your creators when you're out and about. Um, Browsing on online, because we're all out here trying to do the same thing. And LP, I haven't seen you in a while. So thank you for stopping by. Hi, how are you? How are you? Uh, just finished up the presentation and just kind of chit chatting and talking about various things and stuff, talking about the expo that is coming up in Fredericksburg in September, and trying to see who all will be interested in going, and hopefully getting together and having dinner one night, that Friday night, uh, which is the last night of the expo. I think they closed down that Saturday, but I have to look at all that stuff. I've gotten a couple of emails. I just really haven't spent a lot of time really going through it. I did look at some classes just to kind of see, because if you want to do classes, you have to get involved. And you said the date. I'm gonna put that information up next week when I come on. But the date, I don't know. I don't even know if I can pull it up. If I'm lucky, I can pull it up. Then I can tell you. If I'm lucky, let me see. I got lucky. September the 26th, 27th, and 28th. September the 26th, 27th, and 28th in Fredericksburg, Virginia. You can register now. It is the original Sewing and Quilt Expo. You can Google it. And like I said, I pulled up mainly to look at some of the classes, and got disappointed because the stuff that I wanted to do, the stuff that I wanted to do is conflicting with each other. So I am looking at, and I don't know if all of these people are going to be there. I know these people are supporting it, but are they all going to be there? I'm looking at Husqvarna, Vikings, Foff, Juki, Genoma, Bernina, Brother, Handy Quilter, Elna, Baby Lock, Grace, Cunique, Sulky, the Warm Company, Classic Sewing. So those are the names that popped up. Request info. Let me see. Is there a link? Okay, here's let me go back. Wait a minute, hold up. The exhibitors list. Okay, it's a lot of people. Ooh, it's a lot of people. Let's name some of the big name. Baby Lock. Baby Lock from Fenton, Missouri. I know where that is. Brother International, Bridgewood, New Jersey. Elna, Eurostine, Floriani Thread. Really? I love me some Floriani. Husqvarna, Genome. And I'm looking at these embroidery machines. Pop sewing machines from Nashville. Then, of course, since it's a quilter, there's a lot of quilting places. So Creative Lounge is coming back. Sulky of America, the Krabby Quilter, the Decorating Diva, Threads Run Through It, Two Sisters Quilt, Virginia Star Quilter. So, as far as the embroidery machines, Fa, Janome, Husqvarna, Elma, Brother, Baby Lock. That looks like it as far as embroidery machines are concerned. And then, of course, they got the only Sulky and Floriani appear to be the only thread place. And I don't know if I said Janome. Maybe I did. And of course, there's quite a few quilting places and stuff, obviously, because it's a quilt show. And then Sulky is going to be there. Sulky was there last year, and I was kind of disappointed in them. They didn't send enough help because they weren't around. When I went looking for them to ask some questions and stuff, they were not around. So there's a list. I don't know how many it is. It's quite a few people, quite a few that are going to be there. But I think I named the big name. I think I named Bernina too. Bernina's going to be there. So it's several embroidery companies that are going to be there. Um, Anybody that's interested in that. Oh, okay. LP, you say you're working that weekend. Danielle said she is too, but she's gonna find a way. Well, LP, if you're working and you switch with somebody, the name of the event is um, Original Sewing and Quilt Expo. Original Sewing and Quilt Expo. And uh, there's enough time. Looking at me running your business, chat. But you know how back in the day when I was working, you switch with people. I'll do your weekend, you do my weekend, and it's called vacation, all of that good stuff. But you do what's best for you. Understood. I definitely understand that. Uh, Now, Danielle, you you live right there in Fredericksburg, so you said you try, but it's difficult to get coverage. I get you. I understand. Are you a nurse? But because I know that's usually hard to get coverage. But I understand if you can't make it. It's always something that stops us from doing the stuff that we want to do when it comes down to fun. But so you are a nurse. Okay, what field are you a nurse in? When I was in the hospital, I was med surg oncology. Oh, okay, so you teach nurses. Okay, well you go, girl. So you need to get all your lesson plans and stuff together and get you somebody to cover for you. But I understand. It would be nice if you could, because I would like to meet you. Like I said, I would love to meet people I haven't met before, and we can hang out and all that kind of stuff. And I'm gonna check with Jeanette to see if she's gonna go this year, and so she can bring some of her people. And George, she said, you used to go years ago and want to go, so I will be pulling up the list. The good classes fill up quickly. They do. They did. That's why I looked at the classes first. because they do fill up quickly if you don't. You got to jump in there, and again, like I said, they conflict. That's the part that gets on my nerve. You see something that you really want to do, couple of things, three things, whatever, and they conflict with each other because everything is on the same day at the same time. And it was like, dang, I wanted to do this and this and this, but at the same time. And that's frustrating to me. But yes, if you can hop in and find a class or two that you really want to take, that you think that is going to be beneficial to you, then jump in there. So Google anybody that's interested in it before I can get the link and stuff to you. Google Original Sewing and Quilt Expo, Fredericksburg, Virginia. And that is the weekend of, what did I say, the 26th, 27th, and 28th. So that's that Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. And they do start on Wednesday because they have classes on Wednesday. I saw that. So people come early. People, that's the other thing. If you got to come from out of town and you need a hotel, you're going to have to book that early too because they definitely go. The good hotels close to the convention center, they go fast. If you want a good price and you want to be close to the convention center and all of that, you got to book like now because they go. I know last year we got a decent place to stay, so it wasn't that bad, but we weren't right there at the convention center, um, which again wasn't that bad. It wasn't a where we stayed was not bad, and it wasn't that far away because you know it was in Fredericksburg. Fredericksburg ain't that big, no, but we couldn't. Me when I say we, I mean me and my daughter, and I don't know if she's still on here or not. But we couldn't get where we wanted to be, so we had to get what we could get, and it wasn't. Um, I wasn't where I wanted to be because I wanted to be closer, but it wasn't that bad. And do you ever travel with the Soul and Sail crew? I have not. I have not done that. That is something that I would like to do eventually. I haven't done it, and I know I won't definitely won't be doing it this year, nor most likely will I be able to do it next year because there's two important things that are coming up that's going to take money. One, I'm going on family cruise next year, and the second thing is we're moving. So don't know where the heck we're moving yet. We haven't completely decided. We just know we're moving. So that takes up all of the extra time and money. So next year is out of the question. But come 26, if it's the Lord's will, I will be able to do more things. And I tell you, there's two things that I want to probably do. And that's go to the Impression Expo and not the one in California. I don't want to go to California, but maybe the one in Texas or Philadelphia or someplace like that. Don't want to go way out to California. It's too expensive out that way. All the travel and the hotel and this and that. That don't want to do all that. Mm-mm. Um, so depending upon where we move to, would definitely uh, would be what I would how I would decide which one I want to go to. If I go to that one, it was another one that they had this year that they kept getting in touch with me. And oh, Val, you said Atlantic City, not Philadelphia, in Atlantic City. Yes, New Jersey. Okay, stand corrected. Um, that's where Val went last year. And I think I was just coming out of COVID at that time. At that time. But yeah, I what I was saying, there was a embroidery something other that was in Biloxi, Mississippi last year. And I know All Brand was there because the girl that does the scan and cut stuff all the time, she was there because I remember her talking about it. And I had gotten several emails from them. And that came about in April. I think it was similar to the time of the Impression Expo that was in Atlantic City. And I wanted to go to that too, but again, couldn't do couldn't do it. I got COVID last year, so I'm thinking this was somewhere near that time. I'm not sure. I can't really remember exactly, but the reason I mentioned the one about the embroidery convention in Biloxi is that it was embroidery, so it was a lot of emphasis on embroidery, and that's why I um, I was quite interested in that because this quilt show it is very heavy on quilting, of course, because that's what it is. And I had not done a quilt period until recently, so it wasn't something that I was that interested in. And yes, here it is. It's the what is it? The EEM. What does EEM stand for? Embellishment and Embroidery Market. Embellishment and Embroidery Market. And that was April 25th through 27th in 2024 in Biloxi, Mississippi. And I did not go, but I was very much interested in it because they were talking about sublimation, multi-needle machine, basic, just everything that had to do with embroidery, serging, scanning, cut, silhouette, cutting fabric, brother tending, all of the stuff that I do. And I was very much interested in that. Yeah, so it's in LP is embellishment and embroidery market because I just pulled it up. I'm looking at it because I got email on. Well, okay, everything embroidery market. Well, why do they have on here? Or did I misread this? No, that says embellishment and embroidery market. Where is that? And then their email says everything embroidery market. Whatever. Their logo says embellishment, and their email to me says everything embroidery market. But nonetheless, it definitely was something that I was interested in. It was in Biloxi last year. Don't know if and when they're going to have it again. And if they do, where and when. That would be definitely something that I would definitely want to do because, like I said, it was talking about everything that I'm interested in, everything that I do. I would have been like a kid in the candy store because it's like I can see me wanting to do 10 classes because it had it was all about embroidery and all about embellishing your apparels and that's what I am more focused on versus the quilting aspect of crafting. However, now that I have a new appreciation for quilting, because I do, I learned a lot. I am happy with the journey. and it has piqued my interest. I have a lot more understanding of what quilting is, or even maybe I haven't bought a quilting book ever. I might, because I didn't know how to read a pattern. Now I think I can. So that makes this visit to the original quilting expo will be a lot more fun and interesting to me this year than it was last year, because I will be able to appreciate the stuff that I'm looking at that's out there that people are selling, because they were, being a quilting show, it was a huge focus on, back quarters and charms and layer cakes and all of the stuff that I didn't have a clue what that stuff was or what I was going to do with it. None of that. And now that I've done a little bit, a jelly roll, I didn't know what none of that stuff was. I saw them. I didn't know what they were. I didn't know what they were called. I didn't know what you did with them. I didn't know any of that. So now I do. So that makes me happy that I was actually, before I came on, I was actually looking at a video on, um, I think it's Soye. I think it was Soye that had a video, and they were showing you how to put this quilt together. And I understood what they were doing. I actually understood what the guy was talking about and what they were doing. And I felt pretty good. I said, this is not foreign language to me anymore. This is not something that just looks absolutely crazy to me anymore. I actually understood what he was doing and how he was doing it, because this quilting course that I took to make the quilt, the Ultimate Beginners Quilting series from the Fat Quarter shop, had me do 9 12.5 by 12.5 blocks to complete my quilt. And each block was a different type of quilting technique, if you will. And they all had their names and all that, the flying geese and the hourglass. Hourglass is the hourglass, and some more stuff. Can't remember. And I wanted to do it because I wanted to learn, and I'm glad I did, because I did learn, and I did. It exposed me to terminology and techniques that I had not ever ventured out to try, and I was glad I did it, because now my horizon has broadened and I have a deeper appreciation for quilting. I've always loved beautiful quilts. I've seen people that do these big, beautiful, wonderful quilts, and have always been amazed at the beauty of them, but never really knew how the technique is to get to that point. And so now I appreciate it even more, because I actually know the work that goes into it. And I also know who ain't gonna do it. Uh-uh. I will make a lap quilt. That's about as big as that quilt gonna get. I will make a lap quilt. I'm not making nothing bigger than what I've already made, because that's a big enough quilt right there. That's a lot of work, and that's a lot of maneuvering of fabric and batting and all of that stuff. That's a lot of maneuvering. And when you're in a small space, that's in a small machine. Nope, I'm good. I am good. I did my quilting on my 10 needle machine, and when I finished it, I cleaned it up and it was fuzz everywhere. I changed all my needles. I brushed. I vacuumed. I did everything to get all that fuzz out, and I had to take everything off the needle plate off, change my needles. It was from that batting. It was fuzz everywhere, and I was like, that doesn't do well for your machine. It's not healthy for your machine. So I can imagine what it looks like on a regular quilting machine. um, Justin, the machine the embroidery machine technician, showed a picture on his site of a quilt inside of a quilting machine, and he showed all of the dirt that's in there. So those of you that quilt, please have your machine maintenance often, because I don't know if you are aware of the accumulation of lint and fuzz and batting and fluff and thread and all that stuff that's inside your machine. Because I know that little bit that I did on my machine and how much stuff I got off on my machine, I can imagine what it looks like on a regular quilt on a machine that you're using to do your quilt, and I can imagine what that looks like. So, just for the health of your machine, I am strongly recommending that you get it maintained. Do that maintenance at least once a year, if not more, depending upon how much quilting you do, because that's not healthy for your machine. Because I tell you, that picture that he showed was scary. I mean, it was a lot of debris up in there, and so you definitely need to take care of that. Good night, LP. And it's coming up on 10 o'clock, so it's probably time to be saying good night to everybody. And thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. I always forget, I always forget, I always forget. You guys got to give me a thumbs up. Hit the like button, hit the notification bell, subscribe if you have not already subscribed. All of those things are appreciated and much needed. It is important for the channel to stay afloat. So please do so. Um, if you haven't seen the tag You're It video, I put it up. Look at it. It's fun. And no meeting tomorrow night. You guys take care. Be safe. Enjoy yourself. Have a wonderful rest of the week. And I will see you next week if it's the Lord's will. You guys take care. And I'm going to go ahead and sign off and say good night. And we can talk again next week. Talk to you later. Bye bye, everybody.